Music just does something for people. It changes our mood, it changes our attitude, and it also changes our state of mind. Music is a part of the majority of many people's lives. There are so many different genres of music that fits the taste of almost everyone that listens and enjoys music. The majority of us most likely grew up with music as a basic part of our lives. It seems to be the quintessential thing for us to get through our days. We use it to relax and unwind. We also use it for events and parties. We use it to get the day started. And we also use it for romance. There are many different ways that we receive music. We receive it through the radio, by the television, via videos, CDs, DVDs, Blu-ray, computers, and other high-tech devices. Some say that there is no harm in music. Yes, there is no harm in music, but it is the content and the intent of the music that does do the harm.
Most rock musicians get their music while on drugs or from spirit guides, which are demons. That's what your young people are buying and paying for. Now, I'll give you something supernatural you can file away if you don't want to receive it, or take it home and get in the Word and see if it's possible. When witches write a book, they cast a spell over the book so it'll sell. And they order a demon to go into every copy that comes off the press. So when you own a book on witchcraft, you have a demon residing in your home, free of charge. The musicians who do the music that are in witchcraft do the same things to their record albums. The same thing. So when you see that friendly little album spinning on your thing, ask yourself, was the musician a witch? Did he cast a spell over the album that the devil would have a pact in my home because I own the records? There's more to it than records and books.
Can you believe that Satan is behind all music genres, including Christian/gospel music? Well, he is. If Satan wants to pull us away from the Most High, then why would he not infiltrate the music that we partake of every day to influence our thoughts, actions, perception of life, and our self-perception? We model ourselves after these so-called icons of music, and we almost, if not totally, worship them. But believe it or not, the majority, if not all, of the music that we hear through the mainstream media is satanic in nature. Just listen to the content and you will see that this stuff brings us away from the Most High to secularize us. The next audio clip will explain more in depth the satanic role of our music industry.
But I was the managing president of Zodiac Productions. It was one of my jobs as being one of these 13 people. Thus, I got to know many of the people who produce music and sing the music and play the music that you play. Now, one of the closest friends that I got during that time that I obtained was a man named David Crosby. Crosby, Still, Nash and Young. And I saw David the day before Christmas last year. Talked with him. I got him away from this witch that he had with him. He told her to go shopping. We were in West Hollywood and I was witnessing around to people I knew. We went off in this store and we started talking. I said, David, I'd like to ask you a couple questions. I said, I already know the answers, but I've been gone for 5 years. I'd like to know if certain things are still the way they were when I left. I said, now I'll have to explain some of this when I'm done, because you're not going to understand it all unless you know something about music. I said, do they still take the master to the temple room? Dave said, yeah. I said, do they still have the coven conjure demons into the master? He said, of course. I said, now, I got to know something. What's the main reason for rock music? He said, come on, Lance, you know what the reason is. I said, please, David, I don't want to guess. Tell me what the main reason is. He says, the same as when you were in, so that we can place spells on people that we couldn't cast spells upon. I'll explain what that means in a minute. I said, okay, one last thing. I've been hearing that you must be an initiated witch now to get a record contract. He said, that's right. He says, many of us that weren't total witches have to be witches now in order to produce music. Thank you. The master is a tape about as big as the top of this podium that looks like an overgrown 8-track that the album is cut on, and it's placed in a machine that produces and presses the records and the 8-tracks and cassettes that you buy. After it's been recorded, it's taken in. This is why a master is cut months in advance before it's released. On the full moon, it's taken in to a temple room about the size of this auditorium that is in every one of the major music companies, behind locked doors up in the executive offices. And it's placed on an altar sitting in the north of the room, and a pentagram engraved in the floor. And 13 hand-chosen witches and wizards and a coven come in and conjure a principality or a power up, usually Regia or something like that, and order him to tell the demons under him to follow every record and every tape coming off of that master. As I tell many Christian parents, you can go home and count your kids' records, probably yours too, and count how many demons at least are there. If that's too hard for you to believe, I'm sorry. That's why they do it.
This stuff pollutes the minds of every human, from babies to elderly people. We must stop turning a blind eye towards music because it's entertainment and realize it's harmful.